delegates heard about the substantial opportunities across the Middle East, with longer-term infrastructure investment plans for the region estimated to be in excess of $1 trillion. Edward O'Sullivan is chairman of MEED Events and is with us tonight in the studio. Edward, good to see you again. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hello, Greg. Yeah, how you doing?
Now, what were the main findings then of the 2012 Arabian World Construction Summit?
Well, we saw the mood is greatly improved for the construction industry, for the GCC in general. That includes the UAE. The atmosphere in the room in the opening session was more buoyant. Our own forecasts are suggesting that the GCC market, in terms of contracts awarded, will grow by at least 10% this year. And some markets in the region, Saudi Arabia in particular, are really booming. So I felt a better atmosphere this spring than we've seen since spring of 2008.
There's been talk of this revival in the UAE construction and regional construction sector. So how big in monetary terms is this revival?
Well, it's the overall market this year should be to 150 billion in terms of contract awards. And we think that's another 10 to $15 billion of extra awards this year in the GCC as a whole. If you look here at the UAE, that figure could be about half of that growth is here, between 25 billion for the UAE last year to around 30 billion this year. And there are some really interesting projects coming up. The midfield terminal in Abu Dhabi is the most exciting, and that contract is more or less signed, and that is going to be one of the most prestigious buildings built across the region over the next 10 years.
What sectors of construction in the UAE are likely to see the most investment, and why?
Well, if you go down to Abu Dhabi, you get a different story. In Abu Dhabi, it's basic infrastructure, the airport, further developments, finishing off the port, the industrial zone, electricity, water, basic infrastructure. Here in Dubai, it's much more connected to a broader spectrum. You've got the airport, you've got the port, you've got the transport infrastructure continues to grow. I mean, look at the tram. That's been finished off, hopefully fairly soon. But on top of that, there is clear signs of a booming demand for hospitality, so hotels, even real estate, some investment there. So I think you're seeing a balance between the two.
Now, Ed, are we going to see substantial job creation as a result of this construction spending you're talking about?
We're not going to go back to where we were in 2007, 2008 when this is a huge boom sector. Nevertheless, I think we can reasonably expect to see growth in employment in this market growing in line with the value of contracts awarded. So I think maybe 10% growth. That means there's going to be hundreds, maybe even thousands of management level jobs created in the UAE construction sector this year.
Great. Edward O'Sullivan, thank you very much, chairman of MEED Events. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.